Hey everyone. So, today we're going to continue the Countdown to Infinity storylines. Right here, we're going to actually do the Champions portion and what happens when they meet Thanos. Alright, so, for people who are not huge into comics themselves, in July of 2016, Marvel announced the debut of the Champions, a team of teenage superheroes who became disillusioned with their predecessors and split from the Avengers following the events of Civil War II. So, with the aftermath of, like I said previously, the Civil War II storyline, Ms. Marvel, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and Nova, they end up leaving the Avengers to make plans to put the world back together, later recruiting Amadeus Cho, the newest Hulk at the time, and Liv, and eventually down the road, Kid Cyclops. But here in the story, we're not going to see Amadeus Cho or Kid Cyclops. So, very first page of the story, we end up seeing Nova's helmet lighting up, waking up Sam Alexander, one of the latest Nova Corps members. When he puts it on, we see a hologram come out, showing a distress signal, telling all the Nova Corps that make sure they like and subscribe. No, but seriously. the hologram says, the Warbringer has arrived. If you don't know who the Warbringer is, he's basically a Chitauri warlord. And so Nova immediately shoots off in the sky, signaling Liv, and who's actually the daughter of Vision, which is really cool. I love that concept. So when she answers the call, Nova says he's going to space to stop the Warbringer, and we end up hearing all the champions add on a line to tell Nova he's not doing this alone. As they all meet up, we see Nova, Ms. Marvel, Liv, Ironheart, Wasp, and Snowguard at the mobile base. With no one getting into space, we actually see Nova carry the whole mobile base, turning it into their very own spaceship. Once they arrive to the distress signal, we end up seeing everyone in horror just from the city turned into rubble. Searching for survivors, they come to find nothing except an energy signature that follows all the way to the Chitauri ship. But, unknown to the group, an Ultron variant sneaks on to further monitor the champions. Approaching the Warbringer's vessel, Nova lets go of the ship, launching himself towards the Warbringer. Warbringer jumping himself halfway to Nova. Nova tries to encourage himself, saying, "Don't be afraid and don't back down." But then all we see is an explosion, and when the smoke clears, it's Nova being held like a trophy, then thrown to the planet Chitauri Prime, one of the homes of Thanos. With the team landing on the planet to retrieve Nova, they see a bunch of Chitauri soldiers kneeling before Thanos, waiting for his command. The Warbringer ends up yelling from the top of the ship, stating, "The fight you is an instant death, but I will wipe the Chitauri to erase this stain from our history." A beam ends up shooting down, melting the soldiers, when the champions jump in trying to stop the Warbringer as Thanos watches from his throne. Nova zooms into Warbringer as Ms. Marvel grows to the size of the ships and has a rest fending off the soldiers. Snowguard, finding a group of Chitauri, gets knocked down when Ms. Marvel catches her, throwing her back into the crowd ready for more. With everyone holding off, Nova realizes that to stop the invasion is to stop the Warbringer. With calling his friends to arms, Ms. Marvel stomps him as everyone jumps in, blasting at the Warbringer, when Nova swoops in, smacking him to the ground, knocking him out. So all the Chitauri under the Warbringer stop as Thanos rises from his throne, congratulating the young champions. So when this happens, Ironheart actually flies at Thanos when he just kind of catches her, and once he does that, you can kind of see her armor evaporating from her skin, and this just kind of just tells you the complete power difference between Ironheart and Thanos. He ends up stating, "You've provided me for a moment of amusement and defeated an irritant," so he spares them. The group straps the Warbringer to the ship, shooting off into space towards the Nova outpost. Once they get there, one of the officers notices a Nova helmet stashed on board, pulling Sam Alexander, the Nova that we know, out of the ship, and they end up taking the helmet from him, telling him he's not trained and not authorized to wield this helmet. And they actually end up teleporting everyone back to Earth. And guys, so that is really, it was a small 2-issue series that they did for the Infinity Countdown Prime of the champions basically meeting Thanos, which is really cool, and it sets up a little bit more with that little Ultron bot. So feel free to keep checking out next week and see what happens with that. Also, I do want to thank everyone. We actually just hit 50 subscribers. I think we're almost 3 months in, and so like right there is awesome. I really want to thank everyone for everything they've done. You know, if you guys like this content, feel free to make sure to click like down below. Comment, see what you guys characters you want me to do next. Explain more about them. Be ready for next week. Other than that, guys, I'll check you all later. See ya.